Welcome back to episode 2. We are back in the den with our men's wrestling head coach, Terry Pack. Terry, we're a week closer. Where are we at on preparations? What do you focus on? Cardio, weight, strength training? What is it?
Yeah, like right now, our main goal is getting the men and women to get that base. We want to get a base conditioning level down. A lot of them, they all think they know what to expect when they get to college, and then they get here and it's not quite what they expect. So we definitely have put a really good push on their foundation of conditioning, and now we're starting to pinpoint it just a little bit more, getting ready for that October 1st date when we can be on the mat full time. So we're just making those little bit of transitions right now, moving over with the guys and the girls both. So I think we're getting a little closer to maybe getting to that point where we feel like they're in condition enough that they're ready to go.
You know these athletes a lot better than the average Joe. We can see their bio on the website, but talk a little bit about the level of quality that you've brought in with these athletes here in this very first year.
Yeah, I mean, we're really, really happy with what we were able to get being so late, right? Because a lot of people are on that recruiting trail for that early signing period way back in November. And obviously our entire staff starting in the second part of that year really put us a little bit behind the 8 ball. But like I said last week, we're really happy because we've got everybody realistically that we went after, other than a couple that went Division I or Division II. Other than that, we really didn't lose anybody to anybody else. And just like looking at the men's roster, we have 26 men that are high school state place winners. 18 of them are multiple time state place winners, and 5 of those are 4-time placers. So when you look at that kind of quality in a lineup, it lends for a couple of things, right? It lends for great workout partners. And it lends for just those people that want to come in and all kind of push a little bit more to get ahead. So I think we're really fortunate with what we have on the men's side, and the girls too. The girls were a little harder because we had to recruit a lot of them that are folk style athletes, and when they get to college, it transitions completely to an all new style of freestyle. Mm-hmm. So. Our girls definitely have a transition period, but we've got some great girls. We have 11 state place winners in that lineup of girls, and I mean we're really happy to have that kind of quality as well in the room. Now we just got to have them learn to make that transition from folk style wrestling to freestyle wrestling.
Yeah, go in depth a little bit on that. What are you looking for? What do you want to teach them to transition to this level?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing for us is trying to find, when it comes to the women, we look for, obviously the very first thing is our neutral abilities, the girls for the ability to wrestle in neutral. I think that's key because it's one of the biggest parts of freestyle wrestling. And so that's really our first thing is how good are they on their feet? That's going to be the easiest transition. Once we get that transition piece down, it's very hard to tell with the difference of top and bottom because of the rule change. Because in freestyle, they can lock their hands. So the scoring is much differently on top. And the defense, where in women's wrestling folk style, they're trying to work to your feet. And complete opposite for freestyle. You're trying to stay down in a little wider base, grind on locks. So that training period or transition period for the girls could take a little longer. But the nice thing is everybody in the country, for the most part, has those same transition with their girls. I think the difference for us is, man, our ladies are putting in work. I mean, they're working very, very hard. They're here early. They're pushing in the weight room. They're pushing on the road. We're doing our conditioning. Now we're getting ready to get that exposure of them transitioning from those open mats to a little more direct in the room. So we're waiting to see how that starts this week as well. So.
Yeah. Something you mentioned last week, and I wanted to follow up. We just barely touched on these rule changes that we're up against. Can you be a little more specific? What are the things that are going to change this year?
Yeah, I mean, there's a wide variety of things that obviously people just get the semantics of it become too much. But I mean, the biggest change is going to be the 3-point takedown for college. I mean, when you used to have a 2-point takedown and they get an escape, it's a 2-1 match. So you could really get 2 takedowns, somebody could get 1, and it's a 4-4 match. Well, now with a 3-point takedown and 3 escapes, now it's a 9-3 match. It literally widens that gap. So I think as you see this new rule change coming in, you're going to see coaches looking a lot differently on the kind of athlete they recruit, right? So I think the biggest change coming across is going to be that 3-point takedown. There's a wide range of things that goes into college wrestling. I think for like I said, the girls is going to be that it's completely new for a lot of them that didn't wrestle at Fargo, that didn't wrestle at Northern Plains, haven't wrestled on world team circuit. But the guys, they have a lot of changes too. Even though it's folk style, you have that 3-point takedown rule change, but then it's a 7-minute period. So in high school, they're used to wrestling 6 minutes, and that first period of 3 minutes is a long time, right? So I think that's a transition that the guys struggle with. I think one of the biggest things that people struggle with when they're coming in the folk style realm is just how to get off bottom. And that is definitely going to be one of our core projects right away. We want to make sure the kids have the foundation of conditioning to go that 7 minutes.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that we're working tons of bottom work to make sure they understand that in college it's tough. That's where kids get beat in college. And especially now with a 2 and a 3 and a 4-point near fall on top, it's going to change a lot of that dynamic for these kids to be able to get that, right? Because now you can get a 4-point near fall in 4 seconds rather than a 3-point near fall in 5 seconds like they do for high school. So those transitions are going to be difficult for them to get figured out. And for us, if we can get a basic conditioning down to cover that 7 minutes, and then we can get that understanding of being able to be a little better on bottom, that's going to be our 2 keys, right? And with that neutral piece, we really want the kids to understand the physicality of college wrestling. In high school, a lot of these kids, like I said, we have 26 state police winners. They probably haven't had a lot of people put their hands on them like these kids are going to have put their hands on them.
Yeah.
It's different when a grown man from Iowa State or North Dakota State or South Dakota State, Kearney, University of Nebraska put their hands on you via high school, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Yeah.
So those transitions are going to be what we're looking for to get the boys over. And like I said, our girls' transition is just being able to start now trying to get them to understand a little better that freestyle realm.
Yeah. Head coach Terry Pack coming to us from the Dan. Terry, our wrestler features were huge last week. People really enjoyed that. We're going to queue up a couple of more of those when we come back.
I realized I wanted to do something that I loved, and so we just made the leap to go back to school.
Southeast provided a lot of opportunities for a lot of different areas that I had a lot of interest in. There's always going to be jobs, and there's always opportunity for growth.
The new health sciences building here at SEC is leaps and bounds from where we were before.
Southeast in the health science building, it's the best of both worlds because you can save money, but then still have everything you need to provide you for real life experiences.